Good morning, South Sudan. Today is March 14, 2019, and welcome to a pre-launching presentation of the African National Party, which is the new political party. And as a preparation for our launching, this is likely going to be the second presentations because we did the presentation about the problem and the solution of South Sudan. So today I'm going to look into the impact of corruption in South Sudan, as well as the impact of corruption in South Sudan. So my name is Francis Marcelo Malwa. So this presentation, I'm going to divide it into two because actually our recording doesn't allow me to record more than 30 minutes. So this presentation, we are going to split it into part one and part two. And this part one will include forensic analysis of two letters that are being circulated in social media these days. And then we look into the normal procurement procedures. Thirdly, we will look into the discrepancies of the two letters. Then we do a theoretical analysis of the two awarded contracts to Green for logistics and Alcardinal for investment. And then the two part, which is the consequence of or the impact of corruption and the conclusion, we will do it in a separate video. So welcome to our presentation. So the first of all is a forensic analysis of the two letters. But before we go into that things, let us just look into the two photo that you are seeing here. So this one, as you look at it, you are almost familiar about it. It's a former vice president of the Riek Machar, which is the chairman of the SPLM, SPLA-IO. And this gentleman you see here is Dr. Ashraf Sid Ahmed. He's the owner of Alcardinal. So he's from Sudan. Here you see the familiar for you, which is the president, Salva Kiir Mayadi, and he's talking to the same person, Ashraf Al-Cardinal. So what is going on here? So is it a normal situation? And you look at them, they're very happy. But why these gentlemen is being given every time a contract by the government without even competing with any other companies? So for you going to know more, just bear with me and let us go into the details. So the letters that we have is these two letters. So the comparison is there. So when you look into the two letters of offer, they came from two different companies. But in fact, they are owned by one person. And who is the owner? Is this gentleman that you see with the vice president and this gentleman that you see with the president. So when we look also the Green for Logistics Service Limited and our Cardinal Investment Company, all of them, they looked at the two companies belong to this gentleman. So how did we know that? So first of all, these two companies' letters were produced by one person, which means they both belong to one person. Who is that? Is Dr. Ashraf Sid Ahmed, the one in the photo here. Both letters, they are dated 16 October 2018 and on the same side, so it is at the left. So what does it tell you? When you look at the logo, and the logo is at the left. You look at the date, it's the same date. When you look into the series, the reference number, this one is just only 41 and then the different company, but still Park. And this is 42. So they are going in series. So when you look, we are normally don't say he's honorable. We say honorable so and so. He repeat the same thing. So almost when you look and compare word by word, you will get almost everything is similar. The only difference is the numbers. So what does it tell you here? It tells you that these two were produced by one person, and therefore it's likely our analogy, the analysis that these two companies they are owned by one person, which is Alcardinal, is likely to be true. You look, they mention the irrevocable letter, the central bank, and everything. So these two companies, and why these people actually they are trying to cheat us and telling us these are two different companies. Why they just don't award all the contracts to the one company? So there is something that they are shying away from it. So let us come to the forensic analysis. The term and condition of the payment are the same. Even both method mention Bank of South Sudan and irrevocable letter of credit. There is a possibility that there is no company also called Green for Logistics because I've looked on it online and there is nothing like that. The company has no stamp, no website, and I searched online, but I didn't find any company called Green for Logistics Service. So how do the government award a contract worth of more than 94 million to a company that doesn't have a website? If this company cannot afford to develop a website, so the reference number also when you look at it, the one for green is 41 and the one for cardinal is 42. So why the government is not buying from Alfitem? Alfitem Motor is the exclusive agent of Toyota in all the Middle East. Or why not order from Japan directly? Why giving contract to a foreign companies that is not incorporated in South Sudan? So I know Alcardinal is incorporated in South Sudan, but the green is not incorporated into South Sudan. So does does not provide job, a green does not pay tax, and how the government expect private sector to grow while they are awarding a very simple contract to the foreign company. There is no way that the economy could go that way because you need this company to grow. So if you are giving money away, why don't you give them to the national companies? So the only answer to all these questions is that there is a fishy deal between those in the government and Ashraf Sid Ahmed. And this deal, this is what we want going to expose in these presentations. So because the way that the procedures was done wasn't good, and therefore we need to look how the normal procurement procedures is carried out. So first of all, procurement, we know that the committee is an independent committee, but also it should form a procurement committee or use one of the government committees. So procurement committee should be formed first of procurement officers, representative from finance, legal advisors, security officers, technical person from Bureau of Standard. And then these committees should sit down and develop a bidding document which spell out clearly the binding procedures and it specify the term and condition for participating in a bidding as well as purchasing of a bidding documents and security fund, bidding closing date and date of opening of the bidding document before representative of the companies. Invitation of a bidding should be also advertised online or any newspaper for the interested company to apply. And then the interested company will write to the procurement committee expressing their interest to participate in the bidding. So when the bidding closes and then the bidding document is opening before representative of the companies, Then later on, the committee will work on analysis and then select the cost effective uh, bidding company and then write a letter of offer to this company, and then the company has to reply with the letter of accepting an offer. So this is the normal procedure that should take place in awarding the contract. So secondly, the, the discrepancy between the two letter of offers. So we have all these, they were dated the same day, you look at them, you look also the rest is to the same person, with Dr. Martin Leromo, which is the Minister of Cabinet Affairs. Then you look also, it is a contract for supply of food items to Juba and Barazan. But when the funny enough, when you look into the amount that allocated, it, there were two amounts. One letter is for the amount is more than 47 million. The other one is more than 42 million. But when you look into the letter of offer actually, it's 42 million. So why this discrepancy? What happened? What happened within the middle here, and why there is two letters with two different amount? Also, this one should raise a red flag about the process that is taking place here. So critical and forensic analysis of part two. So all these procedures that I talk about in terms of forming the procurement committee has not been done. So all these procedures have not been followed. So the bidding price was not even negotiated with those companies. Somebody just say, yeah, I want $10 billion. And then you say, okay, we agree. That is not the way that the public service should be conducted, because this money belongs to the public. So it is clear whether these two, it is not clear whether these two are letter of offer or accepting of offer, because when you look into the two letters from the company, they didn't say it is an offer and whatever. So you can judge yourself, what is your gut telling you. But for me, it is an obvious. This is a high level of corruptions from the top leadership that is involving the, the chairman of the transitional period, his secretary, Dr. Elia Lamoro, and maybe is involving many others, because actually the president is not saying anything. And even the opposition party also, they are part of that committee, but nobody's raised any complaint. So it's something like people agree unanimously to do this dirty work. So it is very unfortunate when you look into the letter, they call themselves honorable. That if are calling honorable in my country without feeling shame of it. But from when the Minister of Cabinet Affairs make a contract, an agreement with companies, so what is the role of Minister of Justice if the Minister of Cabinet Affairs is making contract? So what is the job description of presidential advisor for security affairs, Mr. Tud Galoa? So we know that he is a chairman of pre-transitional period. But what is the role also of the chairman of national pre-transitional period? And where are the other opposition parties who are a member of this committee? How do they allow this dirty work to take place? So it is raised questions. Are they part of it? If they are not part of it, why they didn't complain, and we never had that somebody complain about this contract, and it's being circulated here on Facebook. So the other part also is the price justification for analysis. I've asked Toyota agent in the United States that I need a brand new V8. So with the same specification that in the contract, although there is not a lot of specification that were put in place. So basically, the one V8 one unit is cost over 85,000 US dollar, and then they offer me a discount, which is they call a dealer discount of 7,397. So, and make the price of one car cost of 77,636. So right now, when you look into the contract, they're charging the government 120. So these 76, if we add the cost of transport and their profit to the company should not sell this car more than 100,000. And therefore, this company actually is overcharging the government 20,000 per each unit. And then the government is purchasing 500. So the government is losing almost paying extra money, 10 million. And this 10 million is going to, it may be a kickback. It maybe will be distributed to the account of those big people in the country. So this is one thing. So we have lost 10 million US dollar, and the 10 million US dollar could build a hospital and could build a school and could provide clean water to the people of Terkeka whom the president denied them the service. So secondly, in that contract also, let us look at the price of the Prado new 2019. This is the price from UAE. So the Prado from there, it will cost you something like 37,000 US dollar. And then when you add the profit and cost of transport, should not go beyond 45,000 US dollar, I mean. So, but how much the company is charging the government is charging 78,000 US dollar per one unit. And therefore, it is charging the government is paying extra 32,000 after the company already got the profit. And therefore, when you multiply 32 times 150, you will be losing something about 4.8 million. And we already lost, the government lost 10 million, making them 14.8 million. Just pay attention with it in them, and you can do the math later on. So let us come to the brand new Toyota Hilux 2019. So the brand new Hilux should cost something like 40,000 per unit, and plus transport, and then company profit should not go beyond 52,000. Okay, but the company is charging us 78,000 also, 78,000. So the company is making profit of extra profit, is overcharging the government over 25,000 US dollar. When you multiply by the number, which is the 200, so actually the government is losing more than 5 million. And you remember we have 14.8 there, so it becomes something like 20,000 million. So for the hardtop, I didn't get it, but I will just assume that their price is the same thing because it's 78. And then also the difference that is like this. So we can come to the conclusion that I have asked them, but they didn't send me until we publish this one. They didn't send me the price for this company. So when we come and make the summation for all these contracts of 94 million US dollar for the supply of 1,000 cars of different brand. So the government lost or is paying extra 25 million US dollar. And this contract actually should not cost us 94. It should cost us for the maximum 68 million US dollar or less. So this 25 million could build in a hospital. 25 million also could build, has something like 25 kg or lane going. So this could do a tarmac road in anywhere, and then it can solve some problem. But we are giving it away for nothing. And why are we doing that? Nobody knows actually, because there is something that may be fishy about this. Let us come to the contract of the second one, which is the sorghum. The contract was for the 42 million US dollar. I mean, or is a price of 50,000 ton. It means that the ton costs over 840. But when I look into the internet, the price of the sorghum, it is something around 160 $160. Compared Imagine the government, if they are charging the government 800. So how many times? It's almost something like 4 to 6 times. So when we add the transport and the company profit, the company should not be able going to be charged more than 220, and yet he's charging 804. So basically, this contract, the whole contract of supply of the solvent to Juba, it should not go beyond 11 million US dollar. So here the government is losing over 31 million US dollar. So this 31 million US dollar, and when you from the contract of this contract, which is the food contract, and then 25 million from the car or the vehicle contract is making that the government lose 56 million US dollar, and 56 million US dollar. You could Tamara could build many schools, could provide a lot of service to the people that they are really needed, but we are giving it away. For what reason? I don't know. Whether it is a kickback or it's just only because the people that will go later on and collect that money given. And this is how the official take away money from the government. So let us come to the crude oil for Dr. Ashraf Alcardinal. So there is a letter here and also was published in online, but the article actually you need to subscribe, but I will get it later on. So this one is I make a summation. So Ashraf Al-Cardinal is taking something like 2008, he took something like 3.7 million barrel of crude oil. At rate is taking 10,000 barrel per day. So still this may have why is what for which contract. So in that website, we can see letters showing the state to paying debt in crude oil. So why people are paying back? We are in a modern era where people actually could use the can use what where the people use money. Why do you have going to use commodities? Because actually the commodities price change, and if it is increased and you are giving commodity at the end, you are losing. So Ashraf Cardinal is making a lot of money. Also, there is a firing, there is a lot of statement, there is a lot of scandal also that the closure of River Cell also it is because that Cardinal won the River Cell, and that's why he won going to there. So why this man is very close to both President Kiir and his former first vice president Dr. Riek Machar? Why this man is being awarded all the contract in the oil, the contract of 1,000 tractor, the contract of these two companies, the contract of supplying the vehicle? What for? And why is mediating also between Museveni and President Salva Kiir? So this secrecy behind this cardinal has going to be discovered. And sooner or later we will be able to find out actually what is the reason behind these gentlemen. So he looted a lot of resources, and this is the scandal that we have. So thank you so much for your time, and we come to the end of our presentation, and I hope this information were very helpful to you with the analysis that we have given. And don't forget that the second part of this presentation, which is talk about the consequence and the conclusion, actually will come in the second part of this presentation. Until then, I wish you God bless South Sudan.